Should we play it?
Yeah.
Well, I got that 5/8 feeling, so please, Tom, tell us what happened today in Soft Rock.
Yes!
Oh, that's beautiful.
Even better than I could have imagined.
What a gorgeous intro.
Okay. 72 we're talking about. James Taylor and Carly Simon were wed. By a judge in Simon's Manhattan apartment.
Well, I got that 5/8
They read that well.
feeling, so please, Tom, tell us what happened today.
In Soft Rock.
Matt later said 6 days later, James went bald.
That's funny.
Okay. All right.
Shit.
How about in 2008? Daryl Hall and John Oates launched a lawsuit against the Warner Chappell Music in Manhattan Supreme Court, accusing the company of failing to protect the copyright Maneater after a singer had used the song in a 2006 recording.
Ooh.
Well, I got that 5/8 feeling, so please, Tom, tell us what happened today in Soft Rock.
Well, of course, in all truthfulness, Daryl Hall was in court. John Oates was just kind of standing outside looking through a window. Keeping with the Hall and Oates theme,
Does Matt write these jokes or do you write them?
we work together.
Oh, really? Who wrote that joke? That was very good. I like that.
It's Matt. This is
Which
mine.
joke did you write?
This is mine coming up right here.
Okay.
November 7th, 1981, Hall and Oates appear yet again on the countdown when they achieved their third U.S. #1 single with Private Eyes.
Yes.
How about that?
Great song.
And in 1987,
Wait, where's the joke?
that's what I meant. That was the one I wrote right
That's
then and
not-
there.
I asked you which joke did you write?
Exactly. Thank you, Brandon. 19.
Well, I got that
I'm
5/8
confused.
feeling,
I didn't write a joke, in other words.
please, Tom, tell us what happened today.
In Soft Rock.
I feel like Matt has done all the work yet again.
Would you like me to send it
Do you
to
have this
'Cause I
weekend?
didn't-
Do you
I
have this
didn't-
week in Soft Rock?
He emailed it to me. I didn't look at it yet.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, I guess
it's
he didn't
perfect
send it
then.
to us.
You didn't read it. There's no prep whatsoever.
Okay.
Well, Matt does all the writing, and Tom just reads it. What happened this week? Soft rock and other genres of music.
Off because of Kathy's birthday?
She did. She thought it was the whole birthday.
Oh, I
the
see.
Whole day would be off.
So it couldn't wait?
I don't know. I just wrote her and said, honey, do you need me? I'm doing the podcast.
I see.
She said, oh, Daddy, just call me when you're done.
Oh.
There you go. Maddie! Oh, Maddie.
Charlotte.
Char.
Oh, Shar.
How's Char doing?
She's good.
Yeah.
She fits right in with
Thanks
the
for
girls.
watching her. Until she's 18.
We'll go to 1973 and our good friend John Lennon. His visa extension is canceled after only 5 days, Drew, by the
What?
immigration office in New York. He said it would be reinstated once he took a shower.
Oh, that's funny. That's so funny.
That's the best joke I've heard.
Jeez.
Hey, that's a good one.
That's a good one, man.
I have to tell you,
No, wait. I'm not finished holding my sides.
I was so distressed trying to think, wait, being molested by Michael Jackson. That is so, I just never dawned on me what a big deal that is if you were 7 like that kid and Michael Jackson, you had posters all over your room and you got to meet him because you won this dance thing. And next thing you know, your parents are in the Grand Canyon and you're in a bed being beaten off by Michael Jackson. And, I was trying to think, what would be the corollary to that? And I was like, well, the Beatles, obviously. And so I'm thinking about the Beatles, and I thought, well, John Lennon's the craziest Beatle. Yeah. I mean, if anybody would end up having me over to spend, it would be John Lennon. I started getting in. I was like, oh my, I can't even think about this. It's so fucked up.
If you were a kid with Lennon, you'd be so bored because he'd want to be doing deep stuff.
I couldn't imagine John Lennon playing tag with me either. It would just never happen. Or throwing water balloons.
Oh, you're
or,
it.
Could take a stroll through Central Park
let's
with
have a
you.
pillow fight.
Drew, did you bring your
So fucking weird.
Let's move to 1982, shall we?
Yeah, why not?
All right. It goes to the great Dick Clark, one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, we got some Dick Clark audio, don't we?
Great
I think we
Dick
do.
Clark.
I thought he was.
Dick Clark had many memorable moments. I mean,
did.
when he said, wait, I can't remember anything he said that was memorable. Like, we have any audio of Dick Clark that Mass would like to hear?
The moment we've all been waiting for. It's coming right up. You're going to hear a roar of the crowd, and believe me, you will never, ever forget it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Count it down. Ready? Okay,
This
here
is
we go.
great.
We're starting to
24,
The great Dick
23,
Clark.
22,
That's a countdown at 24.
19,
Fucking
18,
incredible, this guy.
17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12.
I mean, he's like 80 at this point.
Sorry.
Yeah, still getting laid.
got it. Still got it.
7,
He was handsome to the end.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
All right, everybody, let's get on it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4.
2, 1.
Sons of bitches. You blew it! Anyway, going back to 1982, Dick Clark donated
Great Dick Clark.
the great Dick Clark. He donated the podium he used for decades on American Bandstand to the Smithsonian. Do you know that?
They throw it in the garbage
Really
right
want the
away.
podium?
20 years later, was found leaning to one side and drooling.
Man. That took a dark turn. Oh, boy.
Did take a really dark turn.
Man.
Yikes.
I'm sorry,
Boy,
Dick.
between Colton's dark turn, the Dick Clark joke,
It's not fun.
Matt
The
Jennings-
support of Jackson.
That's pulling out all the stops. Yeah, support of Jackson, celebrating his music.
Okay. All right. We moved to 1990. MTV became available in the Middle East with the launch of MTV Europe in Israel. Showcasing classic hits like The Staple Singer, Respect Yourself. See, I'm just reading it now. Yeah. The Staple Singers, Respect Yousef. Khalil Queen, Jihad Talking, and Staying Alive.
Hey, that's a good
By
one.
the Habibis. Here Comes the Sahad by the Bagels. And my favorite, You Dropped a Bomb on Me.
Yeah.
No, wait. I'm not finished holding my sides.
Very clever, Maz.
Thank you. Thank you. I worked hard on that one.
did.
I did. We go to Eric Clapton, also in 1991. His
Tears in Heaven.
Yep,
for
his 4-year-old
Coner.
son, Conor, or is it Connor?
Coner. No, it's Coner.
Fell from the 53rd story window of his New
On the
York City
20th of March?
apartment. Yes.
Wow.
The tragedy inspired this very special song. You know what it was.
Tears in Heaven. Eric Clapton about his son, Connor.
Oh, I thought it was
Conan.
Can't Catch Me by Lita Ford. My bad.
Oh, shit.
So bad.
This is Eric Clapton
So
singing about
bad. Matt!
his 4-year-old son,
Why did you make me say that, Matt?
Kona Clapton. C-O-N-O-R. Kona.
God bless him. All right. This is more for you, Drew. We go to 1974. Graham Bond threw himself under a London tube train. Do you remember that?
I don't.
It took police 2 days to identify his body.
What band was Graham Bond in?
Check it out. The authorities ruled it a suicide, but some believed it was an overdose because of all the track marks.
Hey!
That's pretty funny. Hey, let's
It was
move.
like the priest in The Exorcist when he threw himself out the window.
He had to. He had nowhere to go. Nowhere
Did I
else
tell
to
you
go.
guys my dad took me by that movie
Georgetown.
site? Yeah, when I was like 12. It kind of scared me.
That's why.
serious.
That's why he did it.
Did you dig Linda Blair back then, like I did?
No, because she urinated on the carpet at the beginning of the movie. That kind of bummed me out.
That does.
Plus the whole your mother sex cocks in hell and the barfing and all that.
Wasn't her.
She wasn't turned on.
She
You
looked
weren't
pretty-
turned on by that.
She looked pretty gross when she was levitating and all that.
Okay.
But later on,
she did
later
show-
on,
she did show some-
I came around to her.
Of
Yeah,
course.
she had a huge rack.
Yeah, she had a great run. Paul McCartney scored his 5th UK #1 album with
Tug of War.
Tug of War, which of course was based on his
Fucking shit.
101 Days with John Lennon.
Brandon, can you play it again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over.
Gay. Fucking shit.
This is the
Minute
final
all day.
This is the final one.
Okay.
For this week in soft rock.
That's good to know.
2006, the Rolling Stones called off their 14th European tour.
Called
Their
it
fourth-
off?
Their forthcoming European tour. I misread
I was
that.
going to say, why did they call it 14 of them?
Keith fell out of a tree?
Guitarist Keith Richards underwent a major emergency brain surgery.
Yes.
So scientists could figure out how the hell he was still alive.
Love you, Jagger.
Hey!
Well, halfway through the procedure, surgeons realized Richards was wide awake. He was wide awake. He just sat there holding a cigarette.
Tommy, you can't even.
What are you laughing at?
And I wish we all knew what the punchline was.
I just could picture him sitting there. He sat there holding a cigarette, asking, "Are we done yet, love?" I'm sorry. Getting the chills.
We're all 5/8.